Welcome to the new Sooners360 Recruiting Daily Update, a new version of the podcast about OU football recruiting. I'm going to try a smaller format daily show for the next 30 days and see how it works, see how you guys like it, see what the feedback is like. This video is sponsored by Sooners360 on Patreon. To support this video, please go to patreon.com. Use the search feature, type in Sooners360, no space, follow the search results, and click subscribe. It's only $2 a month. There's also a free trial option, and that's where I'm posting my regular recruiting content. Also, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribers greatly help my channel with the YouTube algorithm stuff. That's why you constantly hear content creators asking for subscribers. It's the main way YouTube tracks and drives growth. So please, if you're watching this video and you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. It helps a great deal. So this is May 15th. With the title, Going Back to Gorman. So OU is recruiting Bishop Gorman in Vegas again in 2028. Over this big surge over the last 30 days, the coaches all on the road that we've been talking about on multiple episodes, OU's making a bunch of 2028 offers, kind of as predicted. And we're going to cover two of the kids that OU has offered that are at Bishop Gorman. Now, OU's been involved with Bishop Gorman kids for the last 10 years. They just haven't signed anybody. Haven't really had any momentum there. Ohio State has. Oregon has. There's a big cornerback in 2027. Last name is Stepp, who is in play. He looks like he's probably going to end up at Oregon, if I had to guess. But OU's never much of a factor in his recruiting. So OU and Gorman have not really been connected that much for the last 10 years. So even DeMarco Murray's return as a position coach didn't really seem to move, didn't seem to really have a big impact for the Sooners, which is surprising since he is still probably the number one Bishop Gorman graduate over the last 20 years in terms of NFL success. Although, Bishop Gorman does have, I'm pretty sure the Bears wide receiver from Washington was from Bishop Gorman. I know he was from Vegas. I may be a different school, so I'll have to double check that. But regardless, there's not been a player as successful as DeMarco coming out of Bishop Gorman. So it was a little surprising OU didn't make a bigger dent there with DeMarco's alleged sort of connections there. So with really Javonte Barnes being the biggest Vegas commit lately for the Sooners, and Javonte didn't attend Bishop Gorman. He went to a different high school in Vegas. So why is OU back at Gorman, and why might they have a little more success? Well, I think you can point towards one person as maybe the reason why OU could have more success in Gorman than in years past, and that's Stacy Ford, OU's front office West Coast connection guy. And it looks like he was definitely a driving force behind these offers. Could have been the one in Vegas. Could have been in Vegas scouting and making these offers in person. Don't have evidence of that, but he was definitely heavily involved in both of these offers based upon the social media traffic that we saw. So let's just jump in and talk about the two kids. They are Tayaun Lawrence and Jamaree Turner. So let's talk about Lawrence first. He's a defensive tackle. He's 6'4", 260. He plays a little defensive end and defensive tackle. When we look at his video, you'll see he's a plays a little bit of both. He's got a thin linebacker looking frame at 260, if that number's right, and could easily add weight in the same manner that Grayson Halton has put on weight. Nigel Smith was 265 coming out of high school, in that range. So Tayaun Lawrence, if he's 6'4", 260 right now, with again 18 months until he would enroll early on a college campus, certainly plenty of enough time to add some size and weight to his lean frame. So he's number 62 in the country by 247, who, as I said, have redone their rankings. So he's definitely a 4-star. Rivals has him just outside the top 100. He's in the top 10 range of defensive linemen in the country. So, when you kind of put the rankings together, that 79 9 ranking is probably 9 at defensive tackle is probably pretty accurate, at least with the data they have right now and the fairly early form that the rankings are taking as of right now. So let's go ahead and look at his footage. All right, he's inside there. You see that burst, you see that acceleration. I mean, he's just flying off the ball, getting guys inside. You can see it here. He's coming off his burst, his speed, and speed to power, to steal that kind of ICUD term, is really impressive. This is him off the edge, just flying and hitting folks. He's inside again on this play. So they move him from inside to outside, and you see he just blew up. I don't know what the offensive line was even doing. He just flies right through there. You see Davis the same thing here, dropping it for a tackle for loss. So his speed and acceleration just puts him in the backfield on most plays. Here he's going to get double teamed, and he holds the point of attack pretty well for his size. Two offensive linemen trying to push him around. He's holding the attack and then makes the tackle. It wasn't a tackle for loss, obviously, but it was a very short gain. You see him holding the edge here, and then someone else makes the tackle, but he's doing a good job here. He's again pushing the pocket, spins off, and tackles the quarterback for maybe a 1-yard gain. They have him at tight end here. I don't think he's a tight end, but you can see his overall athleticism here. He does a pretty good job catching that ball. Maybe double clutches it, but that's not where he's gonna earn his bread and butter. He's a defensive lineman. You see him again here. He's through the offensive lineman and just making plays in the backfield. So definitely, he's got some good players. Bishop Gorman. This film's from last year. Bishop Gorman's got at least one college defensive lineman who enrolled this fall, who's just enrolled in January on that defensive line. So he's got some other guys helping him, but you can just see he's making plays. He's that speed blur off the edge that's just causing havoc. Again, he's makes the tackle, holds the point of attack. So he's obviously a little light. He needs to add some weight, but his speed and his acceleration are top level right now. And you can just imagine what the OU strength and conditioning folks will do, and what Todd Bates can do with a player of this kind of talent, this overall talent in terms of his speed and his acceleration. It's a little up and down, but the highs on film are very high. You just can't coach that kind of burst, that kind of speed from a guy 6'4", 250, 260. You can't coach it. You can't coach that burst off the line from a player. So I think OU will be heavily involved with him, and we'll try and I can imagine OU trying to get him on campus as soon as possible. So he seemed pretty excited about his OU offer, it seemed like maybe he and Tank Carrington, because Tank Carrington was at Bishop Gorman for years. Seemed like maybe Tank has a connection with him. I think that's entirely possible. So I think we're seeing. I'm just grabbing a video here. So I think we're seeing a possibility of somebody that OU is going to stay involved with. So that's the defensive lineman, Tayaun Lawrence. The offensive lineman, whose stuff you just seen in the screen as I'm getting right at it, is Jamaree Turner. He's listed at 6'5", 300. I'm going to pull up his rankings right here. Rivals has him as a top 200 player. Number 11 interior offensive lineman. Number 3 player in Nevada. 247 has him ranked a little lower. Probably he's somewhere in the 4-star range. I'm going to pull up his video in a minute. We just have a kind of a minute of video highlights for him for some reason, but there's definitely some potential here. And OU's offered quite a few tackles so far in recruiting. So this guy is probably an interior player. We'll pull up his highlights. He's playing tackle, but I think you can see that probably interior guard is probably his college future. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, this is Jamaree Turner. He's playing left tackle right here, and he's got a good punch. He's physical. He's got good mobility, but you can see from his frame that he might be better suited inside. Off this run play, does a good job blocking, opening a hole, burying his guy. Again, this is another pass pro play. He does a good job, but probably I think a move inside would probably be a better use of his skill set. He needs to obviously get his pad level down and get a little lower, but I think he probably could fit really well inside as a guard. Another run play here. He gets off. Good push. Opens a hole. Big play for the running back. So he's obviously got a good physical punch. He knows what he's doing, creating some holes. So I think maybe a move inside. He's probably the best athlete on their offensive line if he's playing left tackle. But I think that's probably the best place for him moving forward is moving inside. That's always kind of a good upgrade, right? Take someone who's able to play left tackle in high school, and then move them inside where their size and power play better, and where he's not going to be exposed as much from an agility standpoint. I mean, we've seen the left tackle Zubek that OU is recruiting, and he's obviously just a different frame guy. I think it's just obvious Turner probably moves inside and excels there. So again, you'd like to think Bill Biedenbauer could get this guy on campus for a visit, or maybe in the summer camp, work out with him. Maybe OU can try him at offensive guard at their summer camp, see if that's a better fit. But he's definitely a player to track. OU wants to sign, we want OU to sign another big offensive lineman class, kind of get back-to-back big O-line classes. And I think Turner could easily be part of that mix. So that's your Friday update. We'll be back over the weekend with a bonus episode. There's quite a bit of OU recruiting news going on. So we'll be back with the weekend with one more episode for you. So hopefully you're enjoying this daily information. And we'll be back this weekend, and then we'll be back on Monday with the start of a new week of daily videos. Thanks, everyone.